So in this video I'm going to be discussing whether we can actually put weight on with a carnivore or keto lifestyle. Good morning boys and girls from here in the Nottinghamshire countryside in the UK. It's just after 6 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be the start of a beautiful morning. Sun's coming up, as you can see. It's just there over the misty fields. And in this video I want to talk about whether you can actually gain fat and put weight on living a carnivore or keto lifestyle. Now I just want to quickly thank all the fabulous people who have commented, liked and shared my videos, those who have sent me emails, you know, looking for advice on, you know, the carnivore lifestyle. Thank you very much. The comments are great. I really appreciate them. Troll comments, don't worry about it. I've got a delete button for that. But all the positive comments, really do appreciate them. Now, if you're new here, my name's Dave. I'm just a regular guy who gets up, goes to work every day of the week, and I live a carnivorous lifestyle. I love it. I've got nothing against plant-based or vegan people. I just like doing what I do, which is eating meat and fat and other animal-based products. Now, having watched a lot of YouTube channels over the last few months whilst being on my carnivore journey, shall we say, I've noticed there's an awful lot of information out there which kind of pushes in the direction that you can eat as much as you want when you're on carnivore or keto, as much fat as you want, don't worry about it. Almost like those macronutrients of protein and fat don't really count, that calories don't count, and it's all to do with spiking of insulin, whether you put weight on. Now, unfortunately, that's not really the case. Fat is readily stored in your adipose tissue. It's stored in your fat cells really quite easily. And you don't need insulin to be raised to store body fat. It'll just store itself if it's not oxidized and burnt off. So if you're taking a lot of fat in, you'll be oxidizing, burning a lot of fat, but you'll also be storing a lot of fat. So if you take less fat in, you'll still be oxidizing it. You'll be oxidizing stored body fat as well, but storing less fat. So it doesn't matter if you're on carnivore or keto. Once you've got fat adapted, which usually takes a few weeks or a couple of months, you can start reducing the amount of fat that you're consuming in your meals. Now, I've been tracking my meals for 6 months plus now, and it's very easy to see that the weeks where I had more calories in my diet, I put weight on. Where I ate slightly less, it went down. Where it was like probably in the middle, I plateaued. And for many weeks, months, I totally poo-pooed the idea of calories in, calories out actually having any kind of bearing. I thought it was almost like a waste of my time to consider it. But now looking back over all that data over these weeks, it's very easy to see that calories do have an effect. Now, I know that goes against the grain of what everyone else is saying, but it is something to bear in mind. So, how do you know if you're eating too much? And probably the easiest way is to weigh yourself every morning after you've got out of bed, been to the bathroom, done your toileting, and then weigh yourself then. Make a note of that weight, just on a piece of paper or use an app. And then after 7 days, add those weights up, divide them by 7 to get the average, and compare that week on week. So if you start putting weight on, you're eating too much. So you're doing more chewing and less doing. So you've either got to eat slightly less or do more, or preferably both. Now, if your weight stops the same, then you're at maintenance and you need to, again, eat slightly less, do slightly more. But if you're losing weight, then you know you're going in the right direction. You don't want to be losing too much weight in one go, because you're going to be getting rid of a percentage of lean body mass, which you don't want to be doing. You want to be getting rid of body fat. So I'd say slow your weight loss down. I personally think I lost weight a little bit too easily. It's not done me any harm, but in hindsight, I'd rather have done it a slightly more considered way, and eating slightly more, or maybe exercise slightly less. But they're the easiest ways. Just weigh yourself every morning after being to the toilet. Take the average of those weights and compare them week by week. Because we all seem to overestimate just how much we need to live on. How many calories, how much food. Because if you're 300 pounds in weight, but 50% body fat, there's only 150 pounds of you which needs feeding. The rest of you is food. Now, I was, 212 and 35% body fat. I had tons and tons of fat on me, which I've been breaking down over these months and, you know, trimming myself down. There was days when I was on probably 500-600 calories less than what I should have had, but it's quite obvious that my body was tapping into body fat cells and, you know, oxidizing body fat. Excuse me, it's freezing here. It's about 6 degrees. And as a result, over these months, I've gone from having a dad bod and fat stomach, boobs, bloody bingo wings and stuff like that, even though I've got a very active, hard job. Over these 6 months, under all this, it's actually quite chiseled, and I'm really quite impressed with it, considering I ain't really done a great deal. All I've done is cut out carbs, eating a better, you know, source of food, better nutrition, and doing more exercise. So even at 48, like I am, you can get a 6-pack, you know, and I've done it really quite easily. So you might remember a few weeks back, we had like a little bit of a mini competition trying to guess how long it would take me to lose those, like, I think it was either 11 or 13 pounds I'd put on when I went on vacation. And quite a few of you actually guessed it right. It did take 7 days. It took 7 days to get rid of it. Most of it was water and I suppose inflammation, a little bit of fat. But, you know, got rid of it within a week. Everything's back to normal. Feeling amazing, so no real harm. And, you know, quite a few people have asked me about diet breaks, whether they can do like carnivore for, say, 2-3 months solid, no breaks in it, and then maybe they've got a weekend planned with a partner or friends and they can just eat whatever they're eating so they don't feel out of place. And I would say, yeah, if you plan it in and you do 2-3 months of carnivore, you're feeling amazing, have that weekend. You might feel a bit crap because you're eating all these things that you're not used to, and it might make you feel a bit groggy. It has done to me in the past. You just got to remember, as soon as you get back to normality, you get back on plan, you get back on carnivore, and you just start living that better lifestyle. There's a lot of benefits in having time with friends and family, having a break from the normal routine. So I would definitely recommend, for peace of mind, getting out and socialising and seeing friends as much as possible, but just do these diet breaks as infrequently as possible, because the longer you keep on plan, the longer you keep on, you know, doing things right, the quicker and better, you know, your results, the better you will feel. Because every time I've done, you know, a weekend or that week-long all you can eat holiday I was on, the first couple of days I felt absolutely beat up, you know, like hungover, like I'd had far too many pints of beer, and just it wasn't a great experience. And of course, once you get back to normality, you've got to wean yourself back into eating animal-based products, the meat and the fat, the proteins. It takes a while to kind of get back into it. So If you plan your diet breaks, yeah, you can get away with it. I just say don't do too many of them, and don't go overboard. Don't do a Stephanie Buttermore and have 5,000-10,000 calories in a meal or whatever it is. Just be realistic, you know, have a few treats on that day or maybe it's that weekend, and then just get back to normality, get back on plan. Now, in the last few weeks, I've had some amazing comments. Most comments, most emails I'm getting are brilliant, to be honest, very positive. People like the views of the outside. You can appreciate the fact that I'm doing things slightly differently to everyone else. But there are those who are really quite threatened by what I'm doing because I'm not singing from the same song sheet. And some of the comments I've got off those, mostly carnivores, not so many vegans, to be honest. They seem to have just let me be, to be honest. Obviously I'm a small channel, but some of the carnivore comments, the crackers. Apparently quite a few of you think that I'm some kind of secret vegan, that I'm just trying to break down the carnivore diet by dispelling certain myths. Well, I can assure you that's far from the case. I've got nothing against vegans. If they want to do that kind of thing, crack on, but I like my meat. I like me animal-based foods. I even had a comment the other day which was complaining about the fact that I'd not had a shave. I go up at 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm out in a field at 5. The shave is the last thing on my mind. And then we had someone the other day basically saying I was a vegan because I was weighing out my food, and that any real carnivore wouldn't do that. They would just grab it, stick it on a plate and eat it, usually raw. If that's what you want to do, crack on. If you've somehow evolved to not need to track your food, not track your calories, you're either incredibly active or you're young, so you're still burning off a lot of energy, or you've just evolved into some super being. Who knows? So my guide to losing weight with the carnivore lifestyle will be out in probably about a month's time, I would think. About 75% way through it. But once I've got it all completed, I want to send it to a few people just for them to have a read and make sure that it's tip top, and if there's anything which is confusing, how to make it simplified so that more people can actually embrace the carnivore way of life. It's not going to suit everybody because not everybody wants to lose weight with carnivore. Some people just want to heal problems within their body using animal-based foods. But so far, I'd say it's pretty cracking, considering it's going to be free, which I know is going to upset quite a few YouTubers, because there is quite a few YouTubers around carnivore who rely on YouTube, and their content is it's a money mill, isn't it? It's a way of providing their lifestyle without getting a real job. Now, I've got no problem with that, but I don't like barriers between everyday people and living more healthily. There's too much information out there, or too much propaganda saying that everything has to be, you know, the highest quality animal foods, the highest quality, you know, meats and cheeses and fish and stuff like that, and if you can't eat those, oh, you're going to be ill. And it's not the case. Bit of flexibility, bit of variety, try their best to get the best quality. If you can't afford it, just do the best you can do. It's got to be better than junk food and convenience foods, you know. Just do it until you're able to afford better and more of it. So I want to break down some of the barriers associated with getting into carnivore, because the more people we get living this lifestyle, feeling the benefits of it, the better everything's going to be. More people are going to be healthier, food quality will go up, hopefully, you know, care of animals and livestock will go up, because we all want that. We want the best for our animals. I think they should be treated like royalty, personally. If they're giving their lives up so we can put it on a plate, then I'd say look after them. Fortunately in the UK we do have quite a good track record. We're looking after animals compared to other countries. In most of our, you know, sheep and cows, they're all grass fed. So we're quite lucky in that respect. We don't have any hormone meat. It's banned in the UK and in Europe. We don't have any chlorinated chicken. Again, that's just not something we have. So we have some really good food practices here. Yes, everything what we eat is slightly smaller. We don't get 24-ounce steaks is like a standard norm. Everything's usually around about 6 or 8 ounces. But as a result, you're able to portion it off, eat slightly less, and burn more ass off your body. So it has its benefits. Anyway, I'm coming to the end of the video this morning, the end of my walk. So I wish you all the very best. I hope you're going to have a fantastic day. Hope you're looking after other people and helping other people as well as helping yourself and living a positive carnivorous lifestyle. So I wish you all the best. Do more doing, do less chewing. It's got to be a cracking catchline, that. Do more doing, do less chewing. Brilliant.